Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nenna, and today we're back with another part of the Pleasant family. I was going to say Pleasantview family for some reason. To be honest, because they're called Pleasant and it's Pleasantview, does this mean the founders of this town are related to the Pleasant family? Does that mean the Pleasants are like descendants of the Pleasantview founders? These are some deep questions to start this Let's Play. Our maid has shown up, and oh my god, I have so much to say, so let's just jump right into it. Our boy Daniel has not been sitting still. Let me just say that he's been actually going crazy, and you think like the man would stop and think about what he's doing, but no, Daniel Pleasant was more thought, hey, I can trick my wife once, I can probably trick her twice, I can probably trick her 3 times. I'll just have to be careful that she doesn't kick me out, but as long as she doesn't know, I'll be fine. He really convinced himself she would not find out. Now, the last time that we saw the Pleasant family, he had just cheated on his wife, and she didn't exactly forgive him, but at the same time, she also didn't take any steps. So it was kind of like she was just shoving it under the carpet and just saying, oh, whatever, whatever. Promised Mary Sue that he would not be, doing any other things that he should not be doing. He would be very faithful. But what has happened, you guys? What has happened that we've had to hire a male maid? What has happened for that to happen? As you take a look at his memories, right after he got caught cheating by Mary, he was like, oops, I guess we should have been more discreet. Now I better do some fast talking. And boy, did he do some fast talking. He lost her as a friend. He got fired as well. Great, right? But what happened after that? So, he met Marissa, and he fell in love with her almost right away. So this man just barely saved his marriage and was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to do it again. And then, because he was still in love with Mary, he had 2 lovers at once. But what has happened then? A bit of a drama situation happening. Because our maid was still coming over, she caught us with Marissa, and she was really pissed off by that. I'm kind of unsure how she thought it was okay to cheat on, the owner of the house that she's working for. But she's like not okay with the fact that he does it with someone else on her as well. It's always so double, isn't it? Someone's wife, but then once it happens to them, oh my god, end of the world. But he kind of lost touch with her, and we had to hire a new maid. And this is when Lucy came into the picture, and he fell in love with Lucy as well, of course. And then what happened? Mary Sue caught him with the maid, and at that point Mary Sue was all done with his shit, and she got really mad. To have it happen a second time, it took that much for her to be pissed off. And as much as it says here that their relationship is still really good, if we take a look at Mary, she is pissed as hell, and you know what? Who can blame her? He's very afraid right now, and he may sit there, peace and quiet, just contemplating his life, shaking like he does every morning because he's a caffeine addict. He is very afraid. He knows exactly what he has done. He has fucked up big time, and now there are consequences. Can you guys just stop fighting for just a second? Because you guys, I'm so done with both Daniel and Angela. Like, I have no words. I am so fed over Angela. You might ask yourself, how can this story get any worse? Like, what could have happened that makes this household even more messed up? Well, do you see the car across the street? Someone has moved in, and you might be like, what is that to do with this family? Remember in the last part which I told you guys that, he has a sister, his sister Jennifer, her husband John and their kid Lucy. Well, he was all fine and dandy until he learned that his sister was moving, and she ended up moving literally across the street. And not only that, but there's always been a little bit of rivalry between Daniel and his sister. What's his sister Mary? Of course, his sister Jennifer. Sorry, I have to get used to these names. His sister and him always have had some sort of rivalry going. I'm sorry, that's that word. Like oil and rivalry are like two words I always struggle pronouncing, so you can roast me in the comments if you want. There always has been some differences between them, and she was always a very, when are we gonna clean that already? She was always a very family related sim, and she got a husband that would work, and she, you know, was always very involved in their kid life and in her kid's life. And Daniel and Mary are obviously not like that. And there's also another factor, right? Another factor that kind of frustrates him quite a lot. See, Mary and Daniel aren't exactly the perfect family, right? They are far from perfect. But to the outside world, nobody would know. They have a big house, they have a pool. So you would think, my gosh, they have quite a lot of money, right? Everything is going really good because they have literally everything they want. They're married, they have 2 cute kids, 2 beautiful women. They have a really nice house. They must have, you know, since they're always working, they must have a lot of money. There's a maid coming over. Oh my God. It's sorry, so much happening. John, Jennifer's husband, is actually calling to see how Lilith is doing. That's so sweet. Someone cares about her. Also, if you're wondering what this weird ladder is, I needed a ladder that wasn't bugged, and for some reason, using a normal ladder, the Sims wouldn't be able to come down, so we're using this for now until that bug is really fixed. Now let's talk a little bit about Mary. So Mary has just come home and she's feeling really tired, so I'm gonna send her straight to bed. Now, like I've said, Mary has gone through quite a lot, and she's finally done with Daniel's shit. But you know what the weird thing is? As soon as she decided that she didn't want to deal with Daniel for a bit, and she didn't want to think about him, she didn't want to address the cheating, she just wanted to live her life, she started to get 2 really big ones in her life. One of them was to have a really good relationship with Angela. All of a sudden, she was talking to Angela all the time, to the point that they became best friends. I am not sure how this has happened, but it's like all her attention has gone to Angela. I'm like, you're really going to spend time on your kid now? You're going to invest time in a relationship with your daughter now that your husband is caught cheating? That makes no sense. I am so incredibly weirded out by this fact. Then the second of all, she had a lot of wants to redecorate the house. She wanted new items. She wanted to spend her earned money. So we have been doing some decorating on the house. Basically some refurnishing. She wanted a whole new dining room, whole new kitchen, and she's slowly transforming the downstairs area. The next project would of course be her bedroom, and then the living room, the bathroom, and lastly, of course, Angela and Lilith's bedroom. But I'm sure they're not in any rush to do so. I mean, after all, these 2 Sims do not have the best wish, they don't have the best relationship with their kids, and I'm pretty sure that in any case, most parents would probably, you know, give their kids maybe even a desk for Lilith, buy a desk for Lilith, or improve their room a little bit. But nah, they're just more focused on the house itself than really anything for the children. So this is just another really selfish wish. And one part of me is like, of course, it's fine. If you want to redecorate your home, you bought it, go ahead and do it. But at the same time, it gets me thinking, you never do anything for your kids. So the nicest gesture, if you are so obsessed with money and working, would be to buy things for them. But they don't even spoil their kids with their riches. They literally never spoil them with anything, not even love. Besides now. Now, the other weird thing is that even Daniel has been trying to smooch up with Angela. Now, none of them really seem to bother with Lilith at all. They don't talk to her. They don't bother with her. Which I guess it's nothing new, but at the same time it's kind of weird. There's almost this battle going on between Daniel and Mary to who can befriend Angela the best. And like I said, I am literally like so weirded out by this because they've never had any interest, and now they're literally trying to outdo themselves. They're trying to updo the other person by befriending their own kids and spending time with their kids and showing each other, look, she loves me so much, I'm spending way more time with her than you are, so obviously she likes me, I'm the favorite parent. There's literally this kind of situation going on between them right now. I am so confused as to what to do, you know. I don't want to break them up because, like I said, she doesn't have any wants to break up with him. All she really wants is for him not to do it again and for everything to go back to normal. And she has such weird wishes. As for Daniel is not afraid about anything. Maybe a little afraid that he's having to sleep on the streets, but you know, that's quite realistic. A realistic fear, considering Lilith has actually a really good relationship with them. She doesn't know them super well enough to feel comfortable around them. They actually check up on her, they ask how they're doing. Of course, they also ask about Angela. Exactly, a very classy party. There's just a few balloons and some champagne. It's more so, I guess, a get together to show off and to you know, to top one another once again. Why? Is that our girlfriend? Is that our boyfriend? Is he calling for us? See, Jennifer is once again pregnant, so there is a second cousin, I guess, a niece coming. Well, it could be a nephew, of course, but there is another baby coming, and she's very excited about that, but obviously Daniel doesn't really care much about children, so it's not like the biggest thing on his mind. He's more so still surprised that they're together and that they could afford the house. Daniel is much like Mary, a person that's very Daniel and Mary are two people that are very, very obsessed with their appearance to the world and always wants to make sure that everyone knows how incredibly good his relationship is. His ego is so big. All he wants is for them to know how good their relationship is. And here he is giving a toast to Mary, who he's cheated on like twice, 3 times. And Mary is, of course, playing her part. If you look at her now, you would not know that anything has happened between them. But, of course, a lot of things have happened. They're just trying to pretend like everything is fine, having a toast to them, and just keeping up this facade, this fucking facade of a family line. And it is just absolutely ridiculous. Went as far as telling the girls it's a secret, whatever happens between these walls, and if they ever dare to tell anyone else what has happened, that there would be some big consequences. They do not want anyone to know about the relationship problems or money problems or anything else. They just want to live the perfect life and look and seem like everything is fine. They just do not want this information to get out. Even harder for Lilith, and it's actually really, really, really sad to see. There's also a lot of things going on with Angela that I will touch up on in just a second, but Angela is really making Lilith's life even harder because Angela has been getting even more attention from Daniel and Mary, even more than ever, really. It's making Angela feel even more important, and she blames Lilith for what happened with Dustin. Angela and Dustin broke up, and she blames her sister for it because her sister and Dustin became friends. So her sister must have obviously done something to want him to break up with her, and because of that, she's making her sister's life hell. A good relationship with her parents, with her uncle and her uncle and auntie. She's like the only person from this family that has a good relationship with the Burbs, and she's just so happy that someone is taking the time to taking the time to talk to her and to make her feel welcome and loved. And she has a plan, and she's thinking of running away from home. She wants to escape this life, basically. So she's been thinking that she may just see if she can live with the Burbs or maybe just somewhere else. Angela is a little bit afraid though, not because of the family of the Burbs. She's not afraid of living with the Burbs, but she's very afraid of what would happen if she even told her parents that she wants to move and that she doesn't want to stay with them any longer. I feel like Lilith has developed some independence ever since she's got a job as a blog writer. She's been earning some money and she's really been feeling like she can handle life by herself now. The number one thing she wants is to save up her money and to move away and to get her own place and start her own life far away from her toxic family. But the truth is, at this age, she's not exactly an adult yet. She has a few years to go, and getting an apartment at this time would just be very, very, very irresponsible, and it would not be something that she can even do. I don't think that it would be wise for her. She probably don't have enough money to sustain herself, and it could be very hard on her since she is a young lady and is all by herself at that point. So she has been thinking it very thoroughly through, and she does really want to move away. She's kind of thinking, well, I am either going to move with them or I'm going to see if maybe Dustin wants me or maybe Derek or someone. I just want out. At this point, all she really cares about is out. She wants to go out and she doesn't care. John and his daughter talking, and it sounded like he was being very friendly with her and giving her advice, like talking to her like he would. And it kind of bothers him that Lilith and him get along really well. And I know it sounds so fucking weird, but just imagine this. This guy never cares about his sister's family, right? He just wants to be better than her. He just wants to be bigger than her. And he just wants John to go away because John is a very good man and he earns a lot of money, and he doesn't like that because he doesn't earn as much money as John, even though his house is way bigger. His ego is way bigger than John's, but man, his wealth and his love and whatever is just way, way, way worse than John. He's just jealous of John and Jennifer's life, right? But now his daughter Lilith, the one he doesn't get along with, is getting along with the Burbs. And it just frustrates him. Like, why doesn't my daughter like me? Why can I not have a good relationship with my daughter, but you do? Like, what is it about you, John, that my daughter likes so much? Like, are you perhaps into my daughter? Are you that kind of man? Like, what is going on? And Jennifer overhears this conversation, but she's not going to interfere because at this point she is pregnant and Daniel does drink a lot of caffeine. He has a bit of a mean stroke. I don't want to mingle with that, and I'm pretty sure like John can probably handle himself. Now, Mary and Jennifer never really have had a chance to really bond. Mary Sue's not the type of person that really cares about family, so she never even bothered to meet, or not meet, they have met, but to really talk to her, you know, her family, her in-laws. And she doesn't really seem to care much about Jennifer. They get kind of along, but she's also quite a proud sim, and she just doesn't want them to know there's problems in the relationship. But for the rest, she just doesn't really care much about them. The only thing that she does care about is what Jennifer just has told her. Jennifer just brought up the fact that Lilith seems very happy to be with them, and that she kind of overheard Daniel and John talking together outside. And it sounded like Daniel doesn't have the best relationship with his daughter, and they actually are kind of surprised about that because Lilith has never mentioned a problem at home, and nobody really seems to not like each other. But here you are saying that your own daughter doesn't like you. Maybe there's something going on. Like, is there anything you would like to tell us? Maybe we can help you out. I mean, we have a daughter as well. Maybe it's just puberty. I really would like our families to get closer now that we live closer to you as well. Like, we live across the street. We could be way, way closer. I think we could be friends. But Mary Sue is not into that, and she's literally not even into the whole thing. She's like, even Mary has a sense of, do not try to tell me what to do with my kid. It is my kid, not yours. And just because your house is bigger and you have a nice car in front of your lawn, it doesn't mean that you know exactly. The second that she had a feeling that Jennifer was crossing a line, Mary kind of shoot out of her panties. Just get everyone home, go to bed, and then we'll see each other in the morning. It is morning, and Angela has once again attacked Lilith. Lilith, which is just absolutely wonderful. Nothing beats a morning fight between two sisters. Angela's still really mad, and she's saying things to her like, oh, why didn't you just move out? Why don't you just get lost? Mom and Dad likes me way better than you. You know what? You ruined everything. You ruined literally everything in this family, and it is so upsetting, but it almost doesn't bother her anymore. I mean, it does bother her, but you know when you get so used to being abused and actually that was the wrong twin. Lilith won. You go, girl. You won. So Lilith is trying to have her conversation with her mom, and it's not something she does very often. Lilith is trying to calmly tell her mother that she's thinking of leaving, but her mother is just showing no effort into listening to her wants, and she just decides to leave her just like that. Now Lilith is feeling a little bit unsure on what to do. I'm just gonna have her eat and finish what she was eating because she is really hungry, and I don't really think that it's really that important to her to go to school at this point. Like, she does have better grades, but I don't really think it's that important for her right now. Like, there's more important things in her life. She was trying to tell her mom really calmly to avoid even more conflicts or confrontations. But her mother just didn't want to listen, and as much as it looked like she was listening, it was literally going in, one ear out, and then she just went off to work, just like it always is. And now she's home alone. Her dad has gone to work. Her sister's gone to school. She's not exactly sure what to do. So I think what she will do is call over her family and then perhaps be like, hey, I don't feel so good. I wonder if I could come over to your place. There's nobody home. You know, maybe? Is that it? Can I? So we're just gonna talk to John. We have a better relationship with John than with Jennifer. Actually, we have a better. Why do we not? I don't know. Oh my God, she's actually saying, "Yeah, I don't feel so good. Could I come over? I am maybe a little bit dizzy. I don't know. Is that okay? Nobody's home. I am feeling a little bit bored. It's across the street. Like, it's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal." I don't know why she's talking about medical things. I love how Jennifer is still in here sleeping. Let's just pretend like she's not, you know. So I think what I'll have her do is get Lilith, get her stuff packed. You know what? I feel like she just should get her stuff. So instead of coming over for just a little bit, what in fact is going to happen, Lilith is going to pack her stuff and go over to the Burbs and just refuse to leave, probably. I know I would. All right, so let's get Lilith out of her school uniform and head over to her auntie and uncles. So Lilith has arrived. Well, it wasn't really much of a travel. I mean, she just literally had to cross the road, but here she is at her uncle and auntie's new home, and look who we found. We found a cute little kitty that just came and ran up to her straight away, and he's called Noodle, Mr. Noodle. Oh, I would be perfect if maybe she could keep him. I want to befriend this cat as much as the cat doesn't seem to really like us at this moment in time. But maybe in the future there is a place and time for us, and now we can be meant together. We're meant together. So Mr. John here has made a breakfast for both him and his wife, and one of the things that he's very big on is having a family dinner or a family breakfast, a family meal. Let's do it that way, a family meal. So once she's done playing with Mr. Noodle here, we're gonna have her come inside and join them for breakfast. Now John here is a very big family sim. He wants a big family, but he's also a hard worker himself. Now his wife Jennifer is also a hardworking mom, and she's just staying home to take care of the baby, but she will eventually go back to work, and that's when John is going to step down and be a family man. So he doesn't have a wish to be in any kind of career. He wants to be a staying-at-home dad, and this is one of the things that the Pleasant and the Burb family are disagreeing over. They feel like you should be working and you shouldn't have time for free time and for family meals, and it's just a waste of time, whereas they believe that it's very beneficial, you know, to keep a good relationship with your children. It's just a very natural process. John is just such a family sim, and you just can't imagine not having breakfast with his wife and his kid, or having any kind of anything really with his family, just leaving them for themselves, to just let them fend for themselves and just figure out their lives by themselves. I feel like Lilith and Angel just been kind of just supposed to take care of themselves. They never had much guidelines. Their parents were working. They just knew that they had to do good, and if they did good, they got a lot of attention. And even when certain Sims like Lilith tried to do good, sometimes even that was not enough. Now Lilith has a want to buy an easel or to buy a drum kit. I wonder if that means she's a very music... No, she's a sports Sim. That's interesting. So of course I like to imagine that during this little breakfast session, they're having a conversation about her, you know, her trip here and how she's feeling, and if it just happens a lot that she's just staying at home by herself. And you know, Lilith isn't really that keen on... What are they doing? Oh, they're gonna relax on the bed. Okay, that's nice. So Lilith is enjoying her breakfast, and she's going to actually help clean up because she does feel very grateful for being allowed to come here. So she wants to show some of her appreciation and to take care of some of the household duties. She feels so relaxed and at home here. It's unreal. She's been here probably just a few minutes. I mean, maybe not a few minutes, but she's been here definitely a little longer than they probably would have thought that she would. But they're very happy to have her presence. They seem really happy to have her. Honestly, that's the main thing, and she's happy, really happy to be here. Lilith does have work in a few hours, so one of the things that... Okay, this pregnancy is going by really fast. Let's talk to Belly, maybe see if we can rub the belly. We do really want to get be here on a good note. And I'm not saying that Lilith is trying to suck up, but maybe Lilith is trying a little harder than usual to be really nice and really friendly and to show that she could be a perfect sister. But Jennifer is a little bit unsure because she's like, we don't have, you know, we don't know each other that well. I just don't really want you kind of touching me right now. I just don't feel comfortable with it. I feel like we should get to know each other a little bit more and build a relationship before we start getting really that close. Well, just a second ago, weren't you, you know, sick and now you're going to work? But she's like, yeah, I'll be fine. I feel much better. I feel much better. So Lilith here is gonna go off to work, and yeah. Let's just see what happens when she comes back. How ironic. Lilith actually has a cold now. Oh my god. She actually has a cold now. I'm honestly like really surprised. But you know what else is very surprising? I think John is very surprised to see that Lilith is still here. And he doesn't really want to mention it quite yet, but he has a feeling that something is off. I mean, if something wasn't off, she wouldn't really be here. But the fact that she came straight home into their houses after nobody really told her she could stay here kind of means that she made herself at home, and they're kind of like thinking, I mean, I like her, but we've never had much contact with the Pleasants, and all of a sudden now one of their kids is just not staying away anymore. Like, they're just all over us, I guess. It's just unusual to have such a close bond with one of the children, and they knew that Lilith has been taking a lot of interest in them, but they can sense that something is wrong, and there's a reason why Lilith just isn't going home. But they're hoping that after a good meal of pasta, they can just sort it all out and everyone will be on their merry way. So I'm gonna have everyone come downstairs to eat. Like I said, family mealtime is a very important thing in these Sims' lives. So let's go and sit down, have he's like, I'm the head of this family and I'm gonna go sit here and eat my spaghetti. Little Lucy is also very surprised that Lilith is here, and she's like, oh, can Lilith stay? Can she sleep over? Can she stay here? Oh, please. And of course, it can't really disappoint her. She's never really had any sister and siblings. This will be her first sibling, so she's very excited to have like an older sister figure. But yeah, let's see what they're gonna say about that. So in the end, they decided to let Lilith stay for the night, and it just so happens that Lucy has a bedroom with 2 beds in there. She has her own little bathroom, and there is a second room for the new baby. Obviously, it's not a very big house, and I think I actually forgot to paint the walls here. That's nice. Oops. The Burbs are a very simple family. They take a lot of pleasure in just being with each other and a lot of pride in who they are and as a family. And the size of their bedroom really doesn't matter to them. After all, it's just a room and they have much greater lives than the size of their bedroom. And I'm really excited for Lilith to be staying here. Lilith looks just so happy to be here, and of course they'll have to figure something out, but I'm hoping that the Burbs will let her be here and let her stay here, because it just looks like she's having so much fun, and I'm super happy for her to get away from the mess. Obviously the story of the Pleasants will continue, but I'm hoping that Lilith's story will at least be a little less filled with sadness. I really hope. Oh my god, just the fact, you know what the biggest thing is that gets me? Nobody has really called to see where Lilith is. Nobody has really made a plan to come and see. They just didn't really care. They haven't really noticed that she's gone, and that's like the saddest part. When your family does not know that you're gone, that means they really do not pay that much attention. Oh, Lucy wants a hug before she gets into bed. Oh, that's so sweet. Little Lucy, you're breaking my heart, girl. You're breaking my heart. Maybe you should come over here. Aww. Lucy is trying to give her a hug, but Lilith doesn't feel comfortable yet. She's just not used to this kind of affection. Don't take it personal, Lucy. She's just not used to this, but you'll get over it eventually. I mean, I hope so. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this part here. I want to thank you. Oh, Lucy's looking at Lilith with such pride and joy, like she's so happy for someone to sleep with her in her room, and for a little, oh my god, she looks so happy to have Lilith in her life. I'm honestly just like, what? Anyway, I'm gonna end this part here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next part. Bye bye.